Hello and welcome back. I'm Deirdre and today I have finished doing my balcony garden and I'm really pleased. You've travelled with me from concept and now right through to completion. We did the initial design and I showed you how I went about that, and I've gone through the stage of walking around the garden centre and just looking at plants. There are some others I'd like to incorporate, but I've got to wait till I see how this works for now. And then the next stage was I went and chose the ones that I thought would be a good starter mix. And now today, on a stunning spring day, I have planted them. And it's taken, of course, longer than I expected, and another 2 bags of potting mix, so that's 4 in total. And it's done. The potting mix, of course, is always the issue because I've given these plants quite big pots. Now I haven't over potted them, but on the other hand I have bigger pots than I would use if they were being popped into a garden bed. Some things there that I've done that I wouldn't have done in another situation. I've bought very good quality potting mix. That's the other thing. It's got saturate in it that keeps it from becoming the soil from becoming water resistant. You know, you water a plant and you see the water beads and won't actually sink in and saturate the soil. That's the sort of thing that can happen with pots in particular. So I hope that I've got that under control, but they will get very hot, some of them, and I'll deal with that also as we go through the season. I've talked a lot about the screening, which I haven't done yet because I haven't really found what I want to do. I think it's going to have to be a handywoman job, should I say. I think I'm going to have to make what I want. I'm very aware, however, that the wind can be extremely strong in this area, and being up higher, that's another issue. Plus it just catches on the corner, which is where I would need to screen. So I'm going to think pretty hard about how I'm going to make that and make sure that it's safe. This was really about getting the plants out there. I felt like a gardener again today, which is really neat. So I'll show you what I've done and then come back and talk about it. So here it is, folks. This is my new balcony garden. It's all set out. I've got somewhere really nice to sit. I've got my lanterns hanging off the edge of the balcony, which I actually will hang somewhere else, but they're solar ones, so I popped them out into the sun. And this is how it's looking. It's taken most of the day just to plant the plants that I had already bought last week, but I'm really pleased with it. So on this sort of side, screening, as I wanted to do, the worst of that air conditioning unit, I have put my rather nice hydrangea, which will, I hope, become quite tall. It says 1 metre, 1 to 1.5 metres. Now it's not going to be that big. It's in a pot and I'm going to keep it under control. But those black stems are just beautiful. In the side of the pot I put that little draping dichondria, which is just going to tumble over the side and soften the whole area. On top of the aircon and in front of the mirror I have my candlesticks, which this one is a little worse for wear because it was broken by a falling tree, and I mean a tree, a huge enormous gum tree came down onto the previous house, and that was one of the casualties, but it's glued back up and I keep thinking I'm going to repaint it, but I quite like it having its scars like the rest of us. The succulents sitting in the sun look rather nice, and the bird bath, which is just that enormous blue bowl that I bought all those years ago in Singapore, sits very happily on that great big orange pot. Now in the corner I have flags that I bought to be a little bit of a screen. That will get to be quite a big plant down the track if I let it. I'll keep it trimmed and look after it, but already it's slightly screening. Here I've got the Westringia in pots and some little things in my trolley that I haven't got to, and I've got the jasmine sitting in front of those at the moment. I might bring it back and closer to the door, but the Westringia, and when I put them up on, you can see, anyway, I put the Westringia up onto special pot feet to keep it draining freely. Now these are the box plants and a rabbit. That will go onto the front entranceway when that's all finished. I've also planted the hanging boxes, little hanging beds along the side, and I'll see how they go. Once again, there are some plants there that may become quite large if I let them, but then again, I'm in control of this and I can keep them clipped and move them into pots if they get too big and move something else in. And then down on this table, I just have this lovely little spreadable, it's called, and treadable, that I just want to fill as a mound in that pot, which I'm quite happy with that. So with the lantern out, and I cleaned up the lantern and put the candle in it, I will move that out of the sun, but I will use it at night. But that's done for now. I can just keep it lightly watered, monitor how it's going, and enjoy it. It's well and truly a budget makeover. There's been nothing expensive gone out into that balcony. Most of the things I had already, and the small table, which I mean I've had such huge ones, as you know if you've followed me for a while, but when it comes down to design, it's what works and what works for you in the space that matters the most. And that one was a friend's one, they weren't using it, and it actually is perfect for the space. I like the idea of that balcony being just another room, something that I use regularly, that I can just sit out there and have a cup of tea, glass of wine, enjoy the evening. I'd also like to tempt the birds to come down because I can hear them, they're there, I can see them, and it's coming up to October, which is the bird counting month here. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I think it's so important to design your space to work just right for you. If you would like to, please follow me on Instagram. And of course, if you want to come along for some of this journey, please subscribe and here. And if you would like to see the other videos in this balcony process, there's a playlist here. Whatever you're doing this week, I hope you're having a lovely time, and I will see you on Thursday. Take care. See you then. Bye.